Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some really interesting things to go over. We have new leak updates regarding Legends EA and its release date. And we also have some other bits and bobs to go over as well. There's a lot of things to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Leave a comment, when do you think that Legends EA is going to be released? Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, we have a couple of new updates from Riddler Khu regarding Pokemon Legends EA, mainly to do with the release date and, yeah, some other things as well that I wanted to quickly cover. He's been posting this over the last few days. So, originally, he posted this on Father's Day. This has nothing to do with Legends EA. It's basically just like a load of the dads in the game and then a mill tank. And then we have Michael here saying, perfect day for riddling us a hint for the new games. And he goes on to say, so far, nothing. Now, personally, I think the Riddler Khu just doesn't have a source anymore. I feel like he would have given us something by now that is actually something to kind of like work through. Like, if he's saying when the starters are going to come out and stuff like he said previously, surely he knows what the starters are going to be. So maybe he would have started like riddling those. But the fact that he's given us absolutely nothing and the things that he's been saying are relatively vague, I feel like his source gave him like a tiny bit of information about Legends EA and then that was it. So he's trying to like drip feed us that little bit of information that he was given, but now maybe his sources, like I say, stopped talking to them, or maybe they've been found out or something, who knows. But yeah, so far nothing, and I feel like that means that they've got nothing, as in like that they have no information about it. So anyway, that was the first thing. Next up, it gets a little bit better because we have this, again, another reply to the Father's Day tweet saying starters we're in June, and he says later this year. So he's basically just relaying what he's already told us, that we are going to be getting starters this year in like an announcement trailer or whatever, because we still haven't really had like a big trailer for Legends EA. Like the original one was just an initial reveal trailer which showed no gameplay of the game. It showed a couple of Pokemon that were returning and then the name of the game, which is Legends EA, and that Mega Evolution's returning. Apart from that, it was all just like a cinematic trailer. So like I say, we basically know nothing about this game. In one regard, we know just as much of this game as we know about Generation 10, because Generation 10 we know is coming. We know it's probably going to be coming 2026, late 2025. We don't know the name of it, but that's kind of all we really know about Gen 10. It's kind of the same with Legends EA. All we know about Legends EA is the name of it and that Mega Evolution's return. But between the two, there's not really a lot. Like, there's no gameplay for either of them. There's no new Pokemon for either of them. Nothing like that. We just know a couple of returning Pokemon for Legends EA. But you probably already know a couple of Pokemon for Generation 10 as well. Like, Pikachu's obviously going to return. Eevee's going to obviously return. So, it's quite interesting that they are basically on the same sort of situation, even though the Generation 10 hasn't even been spoken about yet. And Legends EA has been spoken about since February. But either way, yeah, he's here just saying, later this year for the start of Pokemon in June. Moving on, though, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So, we have Tiger Nation here saying, Khu, when will the next Pokemon Legends EA announcement or leak happen? He says, all I can say is Legends EA will not come out early next year. So again, just relaying that information again, that Legends EA is in fact going to be coming out next year, and it's not going to be coming out early next year, which again is why everybody's a little bit like, well, what's going on this year then? Because obviously if we're not getting Legends EA till like late next year, why is the biggest media franchise in the world just skipping the holiday sales? Like what is going on with that kind of like business sort of standpoint? But yeah, he does here say, it's not coming out early next year, and prepare for the next Pokemon Day retelling Legends EA stuff. So again, he's just reiterating what he's already said, where Legends EA is not coming out early next year, and the next Pokemon Day is just going to be retelling Legends EA stuff. So I don't know if that means that we're going to get stuff for Legends EA and then the Pokemon Day 2025 is just going to retell it, so it's just going to go over the stuff that we already know. But yeah, for me, I just don't really know why they've announced it in this February. I get that they needed to announce something, but why announce a game that's coming out late next year when I guess they could have just announced, I don't know, like ports or something like that, which would have been a lot easier. And yeah, maybe people would have been a little bit annoyed that we're not getting any new game. But I feel like people are just as annoyed that we're not getting a game until late next year as well now, which is it's a long time to wait for a Pokemon game when we haven't had a Pokemon game since 2022, because obviously the DLC doesn't really count. It's not a brand new game. 2024 we're getting nothing apparently, and then we're getting something late 2025. So it's been a long time since we've had a brand new Pokemon game, which again isn't normally what Pokemon are like, but either way, apparently, yeah, it's still not coming out till late next year. But then he goes on to say, what does early mean for you? And he says after A. So A obviously could mean April, or it could mean August. April, I feel like, is early 2025. January, February, March, April. You know, it's the first kind of like 4 months of the year. So I would say that A is relatively, for April, relatively early. So I'm assuming that he means August. So after August is looking like when Legends EA is going to come out. Again, if you believe Riddler Khu, a lot of people don't believe him. His track record's been a little bit shaky. Again, I personally don't think he has a lot more information than I think he knows when it's like going to come out. But I think that's kind of all he knows. I don't think he knows anything about the starters or anything like that. I generally think his source has given him nothing now, apart from, like I say, just when the release date is. But yeah, he's saying after August. So again, that could be subject to change, you never know. Or next August is still quite far away, you know, it's still over a year away yet. I mean, I just don't see it being April, because I don't see April being early 2025. It could be April, but I'd much rather say that August is later in 2025 than April. So yeah, not ideal at all if it is coming out after August, because like I say, it's over a year to wait for Pokemon Legends EA. We also have this as well. So are we getting a new game this year? Perhaps a remake? And we got Riddler Khu once again just saying, you know, that TCG app. So he's once again reiterating that, yeah, we're not getting anything this year. It is just the TCG app. So as the years progressed, obviously we thought it was going to be black and white remakes. That looked a little bit less likely. We thought it was going to be ports, but now after the Nintendo Direct, that's looking a little bit less likely. And now we've also got Riddler Khu, who again is backtracking a bit on what he's been saying a lot, which is why his, you know, track record is all over the place. But now he's just saying that TCG app. So no idea what all the Generation 5 remake hints were. No idea what all the Generation 2 remake hints were that he was just posting all last year. Apparently it means nothing. It is just the TCG app that we're going to be getting, get this year, which again, I don't think is going to be that interesting for a lot of people. Not a lot of people are into the TCG. Obviously, a lot of people are into it, but I think when you think of the TCG, you think of people like collecting cards, not necessarily playing it. It looks like a really good app. Like I say, it's just a simplified version of the TCG game, which is a little bit like what Duel Links did for Yu-Gi-Oh! And obviously that did really well. I'm really excited for this app because I feel like it's going to be quick-paced. You know, Pokemon TCG game is going to be really, really good. I think it's going to be heavily monetized, though. I think it's going to be very pay-to-win. And, you know, maybe they're hoping that this will, because obviously of how big the TCG is and how well that sells, I'm assuming that they're just hoping that a lot of people will put a lot of money into this. And this will kind of, I guess, keep the money going. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's going to be a weird one, like mobile TCG game. I think it's kind of putting your eggs into one basket with how this is going to go. But yeah, looks like we're just getting the TCG game this year. And then Legends EA is looking like it's going to be after August next year. And then we also have a few other things as well. So I won't 100% believe that. But I think you mean April. This information does make sense. Anyway, thanks for your reply. He says, no one cares about if you are 100% or not. I don't care either. I just want to be hyped. So what's the point of typing out the number? I don't really know what that all means, really, in regards to that. But then we do also have this as well. We have Maury here basically saying, this smells like a primarily Switch 2 game. So obviously this is in regards to Legends EA. So yeah, they're saying, this smells like a primarily Switch 2 game. With obvious retro compatibility for the Nintendo Switch 1. This is just me hoping for this treatment, of course. So that's basically him saying, you know, this is going to be a Switch 2 game with some aspects that are going to be on the Switch 1, obviously, just so it can be played. So it's going to be like dumbed down a bit so it can be played on the Switch 1. We then have Riddler Khu then saying, reminder to the release of time of Black and White 2 and 3DS. So he's saying, take Legends EA in comparison to what happened with Black and White 2 and the 3DS in regards to Legends EA and the Nintendo Switch 2. So, if we go to the release date of Black and White 2, it came out on the 23rd of June 2012, which is, you know, 12 years ago now, which, oh my lord, that is crazy. So yeah, that came out in 2012. The 3DS came out February the 26th, 2011. So, the 3DS came out a year before Black and White 2 did. And that is basically what he's saying is going to be a similar situation to Legends EA. So Legends EA is going to be coming out late 2025, but the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be coming out before it. But obviously Black and White 2 was not available on the 3DS. You could not play it, you know. So I know that there wasn't a... I mean, you could, but at the same time, it wasn't made for that console, you know what I mean? So that's going to be the same situation. So I think that what he's saying here is like Black and White 2 is going to be what Legends EA is, and it's not going to be made for the Switch 2, but obviously it's going to be playable on it because the Switch 2 is going to have backwards compatibility just like the Nintendo DS did, or Nintendo 3DS, I should say. So yeah, like I say, it's going to be one of those things where it's not going to take, I think, it's not really going to take a lot of the benefits of the Switch 2. I think it's going to be, like I say, made for the Switch 1, but playable on the Switch 2, but it's going to be like the Switch 1 graphics, stuff like that, which is a little bit unfortunate if what Riddler Khu is saying is true, of course. I mean, that looks like the situation. So, Legends EA, like coming out after next August, the Switch 2 coming out before next August, the Legends EA being able to be played on the Switch 2, but not being primarily made for the Switch 2. We already know it's coming out for the Switch 1 because they've already said that. They have to say that anyway. They're not going to say now if it's made for the Switch 2, but I feel like they'd just make a more enhanced version of it for the Switch 2 when it comes out, and it'd be one of the, I guess, debut games, but doesn't look like that's going to be what they're doing. Looks like they're just going to be doing, yeah, like I say, making it for the Switch 1, then playable for the Switch 2 as well. So, that's all the latest information coming out of Riddler Khu lately. Again, choose to believe him if you want. It's a really weird situation at the moment. Obviously, he was wrong about Generation 5 remakes. He was wrong about all that stuff. Like, he was going off on about how, like, Drayton was going to be a massive spoiler to the next game and all this and that. He's been speaking about Generation 5 stuff a lot. And again, when he gets things wrong, he just says it was trolling. But I think it's safe to assume that he's not 100% reliable right now. So, I'm not going to say, like, all of this is, like, properly, like, generally confirmed, because it's not. Like, he could easily backtrack on this as well. He could just be saying he was trolling for this, he was trolling for this, he was trolling, you know what I mean? So we'll have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts on all this. Are you thinking that this is all true? Do you think that Legends EA is going to come out after August, and it's obviously going to come out after the Switch 2 drops, and then, like I say, it's going to be playable on the Switch 2, or are you thinking something else is going to be the situation? But either way, let me know your thoughts on all of that, because, like I say, a lot to unpack. And yeah, it's just kind of more and more bad news in my opinion about the game. I feel like we just really need a trailer now, but we're probably not going to get a trailer until, like I said, until August maybe. So, I don't know. If there's obviously if there's a Presents next August as well, around Worlds, does that mean that Legends EA is going to come out around Worlds? Like, I don't know. Maybe he says after August, so it could go out like September, you don't know. But yeah. Anyway, that's all the latest leak updates, or like, I guess, close to leaked updates for Pokemon Legends EA. Moving on, we do also have a big update about the new Mario movie as well. This was posted before yesterday's Nintendo Direct. So we have Go Nintendo tweet here posting saying this post has been updated as Nintendo has confirmed a release date in Japan of April the 24th, 2026. So Nintendo and Illumination confirm a new animated Super Mario Bros. Movie for April the 3rd, 2026. Obviously, it's been updated now to be April 24th. But they're saying Nintendo has finally confirmed something we all knew was going to happen. None other than Shigeru Miyamoto has announced that another Super Mario Bros. Movie is in the works, and Nintendo is once again teaming with Illumination to make it happen. Nintendo has confirmed that the same team from the first film is involved here as well, and they've been locked into a release date. Fans can look forward to this new animated movie coming to theaters on April the 3rd, 2026 in most regions. There will be a handful of areas where the movie will release on a different date, but still in April 2026. As for specifics on the film itself, Nintendo remained rather tight-lipped. Miyamoto did say that they're going into broadening Mario's world further, and that the story will be bright and fun. That's pretty much all the details we have to go on for now. And then it has since been updated, saying, you know, today Nintendo has confirmed that the Super Mario Bros. Animated movie sequel is going to release in Japan on April the 24th, 2026. No new details on the film itself were shared, so obviously it was just pushed back a few weeks, really. It's not a massive pushback, you know, April the 3rd to April the 24th. It's not a massive problem. It's not like it's been 6 months pushed back or anything like that. It is literally just a few weeks, which isn't too bad. I'm not too bothered about that. But the first one was so good, so I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Anyway, though, that is going to be all of the latest details and leak updates or rumors, whatever, for today. If you did enjoy the video, please do consider leaving a like. Let's try and hit 500. It does really, really help out. Like I say, leave a comment with your thoughts on everything we covered in today's video. What are your thoughts on everything that Riddler Khu is saying? Also, do you still believe Riddler Khu? It's a very weird situation right now. I know, like, a lot of people really just do not believe him. There's like, oh, he's a fraud, etc., etc., etc. And a lot of people are still like, no, you know, he got a lot of stuff right about Generation 9, so he's probably still right about this. I think it's, like I say, I think it's a situation where, yeah, he knew a lot about Generation 9 because he was leaking stuff for fun. And now he's been so quiet. I think he just doesn't really want to lose, like, the spotlight, if that makes sense. I think he just wants to stay in it for a little bit longer, so he's drip feeding this very vague information, just to, so people still, like, believe him and stuff. But yeah, I think that maybe he doesn't really have a lot, but we'll have to wait and see, because, like I say, he's been quite wrong recently about, like I say, Gen 5 remakes and everything like that. But either way, let me know your thoughts on all that. Do you believe him or not? And of course, yeah, do you think that we're going to be getting this this game after August 2025? But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.